Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Natalie. This is a 60-minute virtual slow flow. Start in child's pose. As you settle onto your mat, see if there are any small adjustments you can make that'll bring a bit more ease to this first shape. Start to breathe in and out through your nose, creating an audible exhale for your Ujjayi breath. This breath in and out through your nose is a point of focus you can return to throughout class. And at any point, you can also return to child's pose just like this. Downward facing dog. Add some movement as you settle into this next shape. Motion, any stretches that make sense for you. Bring a bit more stillness to your down dog. Press your hands down into your mat. Let the crown of your head be heavy and press your heels down towards your mat. They don't need to touch, but energetically, that's the direction your heels are moving. Come up high on your tiptoes. Slowly tiptoe forward to your hands. Ragdoll. You can bind opposite hands to opposite elbows or interlace fingers at your low back to press your knuckles up to the ceiling. Release your mind. Start to link breath and movement. Lift up halfway. Take a big breath in. Bow, breathe out. Halfway lift. Inhale. Bow as you exhale. Lift up halfway. Lengthen all the way through the crown of your head. Bow. Crown of your head is heavy. This time, rise up, reach overhead as you take an even bigger breath in. Side bend to the right. Option to interlace your fingers. Come back to center. Breathe in. Side bend left. Center. Even bigger breath. Bow. Halfway lift. High plank. Breathe in. Out. In. Breathe out. Press down through your hands and hug your belly button to your backbone, core engaged, hips lift a bit. Breathe in. Out. Last breath. Downward facing dog. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. In. Breathe out. Come up to your tiptoes. Inhale. Look forward and soften your knees as you exhale. Walk, hop, or step. Halfway lift. Bow. Rise up, reach high. Take an open arm twist to the right. Center, breathe in. Open arm twist left. Center, last breath. Bow. Halfway lift. High plank. Breathe in. Out. In. Breathe out. One more breath. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Out. Press your hands down into your mat. Reach your chest back towards your thighs. Now come up on your tiptoes. Inhale. Look forward. Get ready. Move to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Bow. Rise up. Reach high. Chair. Breathe out. Breath in. Out. In. Breathe out. Lift your chest up a few inches, but sink your hips back a bit more. Breathe in. Steady breath out. Last breath. Bow forward. Halfway lift. High plank. One breath in. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high behind. Breathe in. Bring your knees toward your nose and then plant your right foot between your hands. Warrior one. Breathe in. Warrior two. Breathe out. Reverse your warrior. Even bigger inhale. High plank as you exhale. One breath. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Breathe in. Knee to nose and plant your left foot. Rise, warrior one. Inhale. Warrior two. Reverse. High plank. One breath. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Out. Bigger breath in. Even slower breath out. Lift your right leg high. Knee to nose. Plant your right foot. Warrior one. Breathe in. Warrior two. Reverse. Back to warrior two. From here, keep your arms how they are, but reach your right fingertips forward and then down for extended side angle. Keep that nice bend in your front leg. Right here, take a big breath in. Breathe out. Breath in. Steady exhale. Last breath. High plank. One inhale. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Breathe in. Knee to nose. Step your left foot forward. Warrior one. Breathe in. Warrior two. Reverse. Warrior two. Keep these arms, reach forward and then down, extended side angle. Breathe in, out. Press down through both of your feet. Draw your top shoulder back a bit more. Breathe in, high plank, strong exhale. One breath, downward facing dog. Breathe in, out. In, breathe out. Come up to your tiptoes, inhale. Look forward, get ready. Move to the top of your mat. Halfway lifts. Bow. Rise up, reach high. Chair. Breathe in. Open arm twist to the right. Breath in. Out. In. Sink your hips just a small bit lower. Biggest breath here. Unwind, forward fold. Halfway lift. Bow. Rise up, reach high. Chair, exhale. Full breath in. Twist left, open arm. Breathe in. Out. In. Steady exhale. Last breath. Unwind. Halfway lift, lengthen. High plank. Breathe in. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high behind. Knee to nose and step your right foot forward. Rise, warrior one. Breathe in. Warrior two. Reverse. Warrior two. Reach forward. Extended side angle. Big breath here. Steady exhale. Breathe in and press off of your back toes, shifting your weight even further forward to build a half moon. Right fingertips reach towards the top edge of your mat. Option to place a prop like a block or water bottle beneath your right hand as you set up this balance. In your shape, take a big inhale. Breathe out. In. Slight bend in your supporting leg. Last breath. Bow forward, feet together, unwind. Halfway lift. High plank. One big breath. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high, breathe in. Knee to nose, plant your left foot. Rise, warrior one. Warrior two. Reverse. Back to warrior two. Reach forward as you inhale. Lower your left hand, extended side angle. Breathe in. Out. Breath in. Press off of your back toes, half moon, other side. Option to grab a nearby prop, flex your lifted foot, and add that slight bend in your supporting leg. Big breath in. Squeeze your shoulder blades together down your back. Breath in. Out. Last breath. Bow forward, feet together, top of your mat. Halfway lift, high plank. One breath here, listen. Slow and with control, lower all the way down to your mat. Set up for locust. Stretch your arms long by your sides. Palms face your mat. Breathe in here. Get ready. Breathe out. Rise to locust. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. Breathe in. Steady exhale. Last breath. Release. Windshield wiper your legs side to side. Plant your hands at your low ribs. Set up for an upward facing dog. Get ready. Rise. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Keep breathing. Make any adjustments or add any stretches again into this down dog as you resettle. Lift your right leg high behind. Bring your knee to your nose. Plant your right foot, but keep your back heel lifted this time, crescent lunge. Rise as you're ready. And then bring your hands to your hips. Make any adjustments to your stance. This can be widening your feet side to side for more stability, or using the placement of your hands on your hips to notice if there's any adjustments you can make for more even hips or a more engaged core. Reach your arms back overhead. Find additional length through your torso, lengthening up through your ring fingers. Power crescent. Keep noticing your breath. Core is still engaged here. Lower your hands to your mat. Raise your right arm high, twist. You can keep your back knee lifted or lower your back knee gently to your mat. The focus is on your twist right here. Press down through your bottom hand and draw your top shoulder back so you're rotating your chest up to the ceiling. If it's not already, everyone gently lower your back knee down to your mat. And from here, keep your legs as they are and keep the shape of your arms, but slowly begin to draw your torso upright. So then your arms open in a wide T, open arm twist. Take one more breath. Unwind, meet in downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high behind. Bring your knee to your nose. Plant your left foot. Build your crescent lunge, other side. Hands come to your hips. Make your small or large adjustments. Draw your left hip crease back. Actively hug both legs in towards midline. Reach your arms back overhead. Power crescent. You're working to create one long line from your back heel all the way up through the crown of your head and out through your fingertips. Lower your hands to your mat. Left arm raises, twist. You can keep your back knee lifted or lower your back knee to your mat at this time. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Everyone gently lower your back knee to your mat. Keep your arms strong and wide and bring your torso upright, open-armed, cross and twist. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high behind. Knee to nose. Plant your right foot. Stay here. Plant your left hand and raise your right arm high. Crescent twist right away. You can keep your back knee lifted or lower your back knee down. In either version, knee up or down, you're going to press off of your bottom hand and rise to your open-armed crescent twist. Core is engaged, shoulder blades squeeze together. In your shape, take one more big breath. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Knee to nose. Plant your left foot. Building your crescent lunge. Right hand plants on your mat. Raise your left arm, twist. Either keep your back knee lifted or lower your back knee down. Set up your arms nice and strong and start to raise your torso upright, open arm crescent twist. Both legs hug in towards midline. Take your biggest inhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high. Step your right foot outside your right hand and lower your back knee to your mat for lizard lunge. You can stay here at tall arms or make your way down to forearms or forearms to a block. This is a passive stretch where you're letting gravity and time do most of the work instead of pulling or pressing yourself into a shape. Come up to tall arms if you're not there already. Bend your back leg. Your back heel hugs in towards your glutes to add a quad stretch here to this lizard lunge. You can keep both hands on your mat. This is a good place to stay. Or option to bind. Release your bind and your quad stretch. Curl your back toes under and lift your back knee off of your mat now for an active lizard. Right away, start to add some movement to this low lunge, rocking forward and back. Just a few rounds of breath, adding this dynamic movement. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Left foot steps outside your left hand. Back knee lowers, lizard lunge, other side. You can stay at tall arms or lower down to your forearms. Check in with your breath here. Come up to tall arms if you're not there already. Bend your back leg. Back heel hugs towards your glutes for your quad stretch. Stay here or add a bind. Release the stretch. Curl your back toes under. Lift your back knee off of your mat. Add movement to your active lizard, shifting forward and back, side to side. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high. Right foot steps out even wider from your right hand. Wide dragon. Back knee lowers. Turn your front toes out. Flex your front toes and roll onto the outer edge of your front foot. This is your wide dragon. Self-assist here is to bring your right hand to the top of your front thigh. Press your thigh out and away from your hip crease. You can stay here in this self-assist or tall arms or forearms. Come up to tall arms, then meet in downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Left foot steps out wide from your left hand. Back knee lowers. Build your wide dragon. Add your self-assist, working to create more space in your left hip socket. Stay here for tall arms or forearms. Reconnect with your breath. Check in that either your wrists or your elbows are directly beneath your shoulders if you've chosen to move towards a passive stretch here in wide dragon. Come up to tall arms, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, step your feet out hip width distance or a bit wider to the width of your mat. Walk your hands back towards your feet and take either a rag doll or gorilla. Allow your knees to soften and the crown of your head to be heavy. In either shape, tuck your chin towards your chest and round your upper back, creating more space between your shoulder blades. Release. Plant both hands on your mat, allowing a generous bend to your knees. Raise your right arm high, twist. Deepening the bend in one or both knees as you build this twist. Twist the other way. Release. Deep squat. Choose to place your hands either on your mat or hands at heart center. Once you've found your shape, pick one point at which to fix your gaze or close your eyes and just notice a few rounds of breath. Release. Meet in downward facing dog. High plank. Take one breath in, then slowly lower all the way down to your mat. Cactus your arms. Create 90-degree angles in both of your elbows. Rest on your right ear and roll to the outer edge of your right hip. You're looking for sensation along the front of your right shoulder. Left hand can come in closer to your torso and add a bit of stability. Slowly come back to center. Reset up your arms, 90-degree angles. Rest on your left ear and roll to the outer edge of your left hip. Shoulder stretch, other way. Come back to center. Take a moment to just notice your breath right here. Notice your low belly press down into your mat when you take a full inhale, and release when you breathe out. Press up to table time. Move through a few rounds of cat-cow. Your breath sets the pace. Option to add in any type of other spinal movement that makes sense here. You can move your hips and shoulders side to side, circle your torso. Meet in a seated forward fold. Both legs extend long down your mat. But before you actually fold forward, plant your hands behind your hips, fingertips facing the top edge of your mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your sternum, and tip your gaze up. This is a brief heart opening stretch. Release. Seated forward fold. Folding over your extended legs as you're ready. Tuck your chin to your chest and vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your spine back up to seated. And take your preferred version of half pigeon. Right shin forward. This can be half pigeon, 90-90 legs, which is creating 90-degree angles of both of your knees. Or recline figure four. On the screen, I'll be taking recline figure four for this side. Once you're in your shape, notice your breath. Any small adjustments you make, keep returning again and again back to your breath. Release. Switch side. This is also an opportunity to take a different version of half pigeon, depending on what feels best on this side. Notice the movement of your low belly as you continue breathing deeply in your chosen shape. Release. Move the legs up the wall. You can place a prop underneath your hips or use a nearby wall. As you settle into this inverted shape, bring a bit of movement to your feet. Point and flex your toes, circle your ankles. Then find stillness, bringing some relaxation to your toes and ankles. Deepen your next inhale and lengthen your next exhale as if trying to send that breath all the way to your toes. Come down. Remove anything from underneath your hips and hug your knees to your chest. Find a bit of movement side to side. Now rock forward and back along the length of your mat until you can rock up to seated. Find any comfortable seated position, anything you can sit in for a few minutes of time. Once you have your seat, lift the base of your skull and tip your right ear to your right shoulder. Switch sides. Bring your head back to neutral for a moment. Twist your torso to the right. Twist left. Unwind. Come back to center. Settle in for a few minutes of meditation. You can close your eyes or soften your gaze down towards your mat. Allow your hands to rest in whatever position is most comfortable. Your lap, on your mat, one hand at your low belly, one to your sternum. Once you have your shape, draw your awareness back to your breath again. Meditation is the practice of returning to one point of focus again and again. Keep returning to your breath over and over. When you notice that your mind has wandered away from your breath kindly and without judgment, simply return to noticing your breathing over and over, coming back again and again. You may stay here in seated meditation or come down onto your mat and take Shavasana for the remainder of class. I'll call you back when it's time. Deepen your breath. Find small movements in your fingers and toes. Move your head side to side. Roll onto your right side. Make your way up to a comfortable seated position if you're not already there. Invitation to keep your eyes closed or your gaze soft. Hands can come to heart center or thumb knuckles to your third eye. Together, take a big breath in. Breathe out. To end class, I now invite you to join me in a nod or bow of gratitude for yourselves and for each other.